You're Perp back with another video and just got done watching the Snowfall Season 4 season finale. Wow, I don't even know where to start. Obviously, I'm going to start at the beginning, but I gotta say, man, right off the bat, this is the best finale they had thus far of the series. Best season of the series thus far. I will be having a live discussion this Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Rashad G Reviews. Definitely make sure you pull up for that. Hit that like button, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at PerpMinder420. So, let's get into it because we got a lot to talk about. We start off with a flashback. This is Alton as a Black Panther, and you got Franklin, or a kid that's supposed to be Franklin. They could have honestly got a better kid actor that looked like Franklin. This kid that looks nothing like him, but Franklin's kind of reminiscing back to when his father always used to have his back, or just took him out of school that day. Really interesting stuff, and he's just trying to figure out where his father is at before Teddy runs into him. But that's not the only issue that Franklin has to deal with. You also have to deal with Scully. Scully wants to find out where Franklin is. He's out looking for him. Meanwhile, you've got Alton out here snitching on the radio. Teddy is just completely pissed because he wanted Franklin to get a hold of his father, put a muzzle on him, put him down, silence him. And I love this scene of Alton just going off and saying, F it, I'm going to just go in. I'm going to expose his whole entire government. I'm going to blow his whole spot up. And Franklin's like, man, I got to do something or else my pops is going to end up dead. So what Franklin ends up doing is some of the most grimiest shit you could possibly do to human beings. But yet, this is what this is who Franklin has become as a character. You cannot tell me that Franklin is not a villain after watching these last two seasons. Like, he's really made a turn for the worst, where he thinks everything that he's doing is justified and right. It's really fucked up here because he ends up kicking out everybody out of that shelter, until he can find his father. He goes to extreme lengths to find Alton. Meanwhile, you have Sissy meeting up with this dude that's making these passports so she can kind of just dip out of the country and get away from all this. Now, going back to Alton, he went back to the house to meet up with Franklin, and they kind of have this really interesting father-son moment, and they're just trying to figure out and come up with this solution. And Alton's just like walking with no fear. He doesn't care if he has to die to protect his family, where Franklin is afraid of Teddy. He really admits it because he still, at the end of the day, loves his family. He loves his dad. He loves his mom. He cares about the people he cares about, even though he kind of treats them like shit. Now, all this gets interrupted because they get a knock at the door, and it's Scully, and he's looking for Franklin. And not knowing how many people are in this crib, Scully is very reckless. Pops up in there, almost hits Franklin, but ends up getting hit by Alton. They both get a nice little shot at each other, and they're able to get away. But Alton kind of knocks Franklin out unconscious so he can get his beeper and everything. He wants to meet up with Teddy. He wants to eliminate Teddy at this point, where Franklin's like, nah, that's not a good idea. We could do this a different way. But Alton is set on just getting rid of Teddy as a whole, and he just doesn't want anything to do with this anymore, and he's willing to do whatever it takes. So then Franklin hops on the phone with Teddy, letting Teddy know, like, what's going on, where's my father, you know what I'm saying. Teddy pretty much tells him, like, you don't got much time, so you better just get here, meet me at the spot there where you usually always used to meet at. Then we get this little transition where we get a little glimpse of Jerome and Louie in the hospital while Scully is looking at a picture of Khadijah and his daughter while he bleeds out. This is one of the craziest moments of this episode, is where you just see these bloody shoes walking in, obviously what it looks like as a hospital, and pops up on Louie with a gun, just ready to just blow her fucking brains out. And he wants to know where Jerome's at, and Jerome pops in the right moment. And you really see the parallels here, because this whole role right here could have been switched up. Because imagine if this was Jerome pulling up on, you know, Khadijah and Scully at the hospital. Would that play out differently? That's what's so crazy about this show too. Like, you see the different perspectives. Like, you could literally put any of these characters in any of the other characters' shoes, you know what I'm saying, even from the beginning of the series. Anyways, get this awesome stand down though between Teddy and Alton. Shit's about to go left, but obviously, you know, Franklin had to come in and kind of disrupt it and just kind of be that middleman, because if Franklin didn't show up in the time that he did, it would have probably gone left for Alton, to be honest, because Teddy was ready to blow his brains out, and I don't think that's going to change, even though Franklin came up with an alternative. Just let them leave, and we don't got to deal with them anymore. And Franklin starts to say his goodbyes, and you start to realize that the more and more this episode goes on, that the more and more people that he loves are leaving him or being distant from him. You know, his mom and dad are going to Cuba. You know what I'm saying? The only person that's by his side still is Teddy. But even Teddy says, yo, I got to take a break. You're still going to be doing the same stuff, but somebody else is going to come in and oversee things with Gustavo, which I'm curious to see who that person's going to be, if that's going to be a friend or foe. Who knows? It's going to be dope to see a new character, and to see they're probably going to end up butting heads, like Gustavo and this new guy, whoever that person may be. Also, I actually made a video about this specific thing that they was talking about in this episode, about more information on Lucia. Go check that out in the description below on the playlist. What if Gustavo finds Lucia? What would that mean? Hopefully it's a meaningful return for her character, if that is what they're going to end up doing with her character for the next remaining seasons. Who knows? I don't know. Then now things start to get really interesting, and I feel like it's going to be a big thing going to next season. Franklin visits Jerome in the hospital to check up on Louie, and you know, Jerome's not kind of having it. And we come to find out that, you know, Jerome and Louie kind of just want to do their own thing. They just want to get the fuck out of the business, get away from Franklin, and just do their own thing. This doesn't really sit well with Franklin. He feels some type of way. And even Leon says, like, yo, just let them do their thing and they will respect you even more for that. And even Leon wants to get the fuck up out of here. And Franklin's like, nah, I'm going to get everybody in order, and we're going to be a big happy family once again. And man, I cannot wait to see how Franklin is in season 5. But to wrap this all up, let's get to the final 2 scenes of this season. This scene right here, I wish would have kind of been the cliffhanger, where we see Alton and Sissy down in Cuba just enjoying life, living their best life quietly until Teddy pops up and supposedly probably kills Alton. We're just going to have to wait till next season. Do you think he pulled the trigger, or if there's going to be something more to it? We'll just have to wait and see. But here is my favorite scene of the episode, where Franklin finds out where Mel is, and they just have a pretty basic conversation. Not a basic conversation, but just a very personal conversation. And he wants to just make sure that Mel's not going to say nothing. In return, Mel wants Franklin to admit that Franklin killed her father, but Franklin kind of just doesn't even answer. So I really don't know what they're going to do with Mel's character. I hope this is not the last that we see of her character. Maybe she becomes that Irene character. Maybe she kind of gets a new calling and wants to really bring him down and wants to see justice for her father and stuff. I still believe that might happen. She might link up with Nix. I don't think we've seen the last of him, because there's definitely more than just Man-Boy and Scully as far as dudes on the street. So we're definitely going to get new characters. The dopest thing, though, how they ended this with, Franklin retiring the cane, and he just walks off. That was great. But I definitely want to watch this again just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And I will discuss this more Saturday night on a live stream discussing season 4 as a whole. But I want to know, you guys, what are your thoughts on this season finale? Do you think it was a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10? Do you think this was the worst season? Let me know all your thoughts, man. And I will see y'all Saturday night for the Snowfall season 4 discussion. But until next time, I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.